All right, we're recording. Good morning again, everyone, and welcome back to the KSR YouTube channel. Just a quick video today on wrapping up the Viper, getting it ready for VIR. You can see CJ got the side skirts and all back on. Our exhaust is no longer floppy loose inside the car, nice and tidy. So I'm hoping that maybe some of that rear hanger being busted is what was contributing to the front parts coming loose, even though most of the time it's been tight, but they're tighter now than they've ever been. So maybe those things had enough play in them that they were contributing to the side pipes continually coming loose on the car. You might be wondering what I have hanging on the car, and that's actually my alignment setup. So why don't I just take it to an alignment shop? There's one literally right across the road. Well, I'll tell you why in just a second. All right, so this alignment kit is called a Smart String alignment kit. And if you look close, you'll see we have machined grooves in here. They are on the front and the rear. And what that does is that gives us a parallel box, like a, it's going to be a parallelogram probably to start with because I haven't trued it all up. But the idea is that we can build the strings and offset them and measure from the string into the hub, front and rear. And they will be different because the track widths of the car is different front to rear. The hub might be further out in the front, which typically is. And in the rear, it's further inset inside the car. But the idea is you center the string off the front of the car, you center the string on the rear of the car, and then we can measure from the string to the rim, front and rear. And if the number is smaller here than it is on the back, well, then we know that tire would be towed out. And that's how we can tune our alignment while we're at the racetrack. So the main reason why I do this, and I've checked it across the street at the alignment shop to make sure that the numbers that I was getting is close to the numbers that he got on the, fancy schmancy $100,000 alignment machine. And they're close enough for a race car. So we take the thing, and I take this string alignment kit to the track, and now I can make alignment adjustments while we're there at the racetrack. Now, if you're real particular and real careful with how you do these things, you can get repeatable results. And when we're trying to make changes at the racetrack, that's all we need. So you can see I'm on top of the scales right now. Between the scales and the race ramps, we have two plates together that have a little bit of grease in between them. And what that does is let the car and the suspension settle so that there's no side loading of the tire and we get accurate measurements on all of our cross weights. Little tricks for doing this kind of stuff. Most of the time you see like the NASCAR Cup guys, when they do scale work, they roll backwards and roll forwards. Well, I don't want to do all that rolling and resetting up all the time, and there's something to be said for that, but the grease plates in theory should make it to where the suspension fully settles, there's no side loading in the tires, and everything's good. That's the way I've been doing it for 10 years now. That's the way I'm going to keep doing it until I learn of another way to do it that's better. So I'm going to get to work doing the scaling and checking the alignment. We haven't made really any changes in the alignment, but I want to check and verify that it's where we typically set it to. And then after that, it's time to fire it up and put it back in the trailer. don't know if this will work or not. All right, so I'm trying a new setting on the camera. Hopefully it works. So while I was doing the time lapse there, you guys might have seen CJ going around and airing up all the tires. Well, if you think about it, we want to make sure that the tires are all equal pressure, because if one is lower than the other, it's not evenly, you know, supporting the car. So, did it quit working again? No, it's still working. I flipped some batteries around and I think maybe it's okay.
Oh, okay.
I thought my batteries were dead in my scale plate, because I have wireless scales. And the only problem with them is the batteries go dead often. But it beats tripping over cords all the time. So you can see we're live with the laptop. Let's see if we can get this where we can see it. I do still have the strings on the car, so the weight will be off with that. What I'm going to do is make sure I'm going to make sure the weights are close. Make sure the camber is where I think it's supposed to be, which we didn't change any of that, but we did have the steering stuff loose when we went in and changed the axles on the back. But we'll drop it down, make sure that the corner weights are close, then I'll take the strings off and get us an actual final weight for what we're going to take to the racetrack. I gotta hurry. Yeah, still alive with it so far. Maybe not. All right, well, I'm gonna sit in the car and double check it with my weight in it, plus a little ballast, because Lee and I weigh the same, but I don't have racing gear on. So I'm gonna add about probably 2 cans of the oil, so like a gallon of oil. This should be about what the race gear weighs. Well, everybody, one of the fun perks of my job, I guess you could say, ooh, something's beeping at me, is that I get to go do little street drives in these things. And mostly what I'm checking for, make sure the steering wheel is pointed straight. I let my hands off the steering wheel and I hit the brakes to make sure that the car brakes mostly straight. Now the tires are, you know, filled up with rocks and stuff, because when the car was last run, it was right at the end of a race, so the tires were super hot and sticky, and when you pull off of the track, you pick up every little rock and pebble and zip tie and everything else that's the car drives over. But we're gonna go drive it around the industrial park a little bit, let it warm up, make sure everything feels normal. So here we go. look and see what's smoking? I'm hoping it's just the exhaust, like the wrap on the exhaust. Sorry. It doesn't work after a pull, so that's what I'm hoping it is.
I think it's just a wrap.
That's all. That's what I was hoping.
Yeah, I mean.
Can you see it anywhere? Can you look like?
Yeah, you can see it coming out of the rocker.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try to put a little more heat in it to get rid of that, so Lee doesn't. It's on fire. Yeah. Well, our winch has decided it does not want to cooperate. And I'm already supposed to be on the road for Virginia. So we're just going to tug it in with the ratchet straps and get our happy selves on the road. Cars, sometimes they really want to fight you. I hear it clicking down there, but nothing's happening. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the little ride. Maybe I got a little too crazy on a couple of those squirts, but I wanted to make sure I got all of the smoke baked out of the wrap. It's oils from handling it, as well as you know, just the wrap itself will kind of smoke and burn off what residue's on it, I guess. So all that seems to be good. So time for us to get on the road. Appreciate you watching. We'll bring you guys some footage from the track. The video will probably come out Sunday morning, so stay tuned and we'll see you then.